Good morning, Greg Newhouse again. Share another thought with you on awareness and the importance of it or the value of it. It's only important if a person makes it important for themselves. But why I place such a value on it. Awareness, and that's what the drill was yesterday. I'm glad some of you could use that pointer just to kind of shake you out from what your habits are. Because like I've said before, habits are good and they're bad. It all depends on what your goals and your direction are. So you got to study them every once in a while. But what I'd like to share here is the awareness that of what you're doing provides you as a performer. I'm going to relate to you some great athletes, or me coaching some athletes, and the value of being able to get them to be aware of where they are, being what I call in the now. If you go into major athletics and you watch the great ones, the Michael Jordans going to the hoop, or the Tiger Woods, you know, creating, shaping those shots, because I still think Tiger Woods is displayed some of the greatest golf of all time. Now, if you get into social standards and rate a person and bring it into the game, that's a bunch of crap. He brought it into the game. I think he's been distracted. A lot of guys get distracted. They bring money and business concepts. They just can't stay focused. So they are a distraction. But anyways, what it gives you as a coach, I practice being in the now. I'm not saying I've arrived at none of that crap. You know, what I'm trying to say is I was always studying my athletes. Every play that I was on that field, I was into something. Not myself, I gotta practice on myself now, but into watching, into being into that play. What can I take from that play to take somebody a step forward so we are a better team? He's a better player, we're a better team, we're champions. So that's the power of being aware. So those little drills, you know, the ones yesterday were focused on some health concepts. Me being that I'm studying it now, it's an easy way for me to people learn about the concept of awareness and how it applies to making strides in your life, moving forward. Because here, like with the athlete, if a player does something, bang, he makes a mistake, I don't want him to repeat it on the next play. I want him to take a step forward. So he's got to work on next play. Well, I tried to create an environment where that was always constant, to the point that I could not coach without a voice. Now, a lot of you people out there who've seen me coach have been privileged to hear that shrill voice. Well, guess what that shrill voice did? It could reach my athlete from any place on the field. I could be 50 yards in the back. I could be on the sidelines in a big game. So I'm not proud that I had a squeaky voice, but I'm proud that I was able to communicate them. You know, people say, hey, you can hear Newhouse. Well, what were you hearing from Newhouse? You weren't hearing me berate my players. I coached because I was in the moment. In the moment right there. I wasn't going to waste. I wasn't worried about what people thought. Oh, man, he's got a loud voice. Oh, man. Because I didn't throw out negatives either now. If I had to get after a kid, I got it out at, you know, we're down together talking one-on-one. It's not shared to public, because most of my coaching points apply to all playmaking things. If it became an X and O thing, I had to pull the kid aside. You can't just say, hey, do this or do that. You know, they don't get it. First of all, I don't get it, but there's a simplicity about being in the moment, but it's a complexity because we are all programmed. I'm programmed. I got habits and reactions that I do, and I go off because I just don't think it's right. Well, I'm learning how to you know, mellow that out. But a bonus for you out there, how I used it. First of all, I told you about Tiger Woods. I want to say that one more time. I've seen that Tiger's been so in tune with things. I've seen him shape shots. He had to see that shot. He had to create it in his mind. Then he had to be in the moment because the wind will change right there. And that wasn't a thought process. That was being in the moment, the flow. All of a sudden, he's one with all the energy around him. It's a beautiful thing, man, if you've ever been there. I don't know how many of you guys have been there, or I bet you everybody's been there, but they haven't realized it. Man, I did it one time. Whew, man, it's like a dream. Oh, it happened before it happened. And when it was happening, it was like, oh. We'll have to get in that later. You know, you think I'm on drugs talking about that stuff. Here we go. So for me, the being in the moment, I studied my opponents to a point that I actually worked with a guy who brought me on with him, a guy I'd worked with before, Elder Dog. And we were working together at a place, and he had me in the box. Not because of my intelligence, It's because of how I studied with the intelligence I had, or the little bit. So I knew the opponent, and he relied on that as a coordinator. He was a coordinator at the time instead of me, because we moved to another place. Beautiful thing when you can do that. Just ham and egg with people. You're on the same page. Anyways, so he wanted me to just call the game from the box, because I had a great feel, because the way I studied my opponent, I was so into it that I ingrained it. Now you see in pro football and college football, these guys got these cards over them. Whoa, 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 whoa. Well, I never read from a card. Yeah, I took a card up to the box. I had on it the things I don't want to do in certain situations. Because when we practice things that we thought would work. And by the time we got to the game, we threw those bad boys out that didn't. Oh, we put a little asterisk. Not real good. These guys don't quite got it. So we're able to put the players in a position knowing this is when they can play fast. But also we relied on ourselves to coach, make the calls to get us into that position. I'll tell you another story about a guy I coached, a game named Mark Ledbetter. I let him make the calls sometimes. Yeah, those guys knew it was their team, and I look at him, he's got a call, he's signaling it to me instead of me signaling it to him. Anyways, we'll get into that later. So anyways, I'll give you an example. I may be in a moment. I'd be in a game, I'm watching it, let's say someone's on the -2 yard line. That's the end zone coming out for you people that haven't been football jargon. I'd have a feel for what the team did, I'd just make the call. I just knew it was gonna happen. And the reason I knew it was happening is because I studied video which displayed habits of opponent coordinators or signal callers. I didn't know at the time I was doing that. But by studying their habits, I knew, hey, this is a tendency. It happens. It's a reaction. It's their call. They didn't have... That's why you got things where you got systems where you study yourself and your... What do you call it? Your tendencies. So anyways, I'd make the call. Based on, I know they do, it just came to me. It wasn't like I didn't read it on the sheet. I -2 yard, I'd call it, boom, I'd call it. Or, another one, when I was the coordinator, that was working with Rich. Worked great. Well, let me finish that story. Well, so then, all of a sudden, I'm into the game, so I'm into the moment. So I'm into what's going on. It just comes to me. I'm relaxed, I'm in the moment. Then someone else gets on the headset and there's noise. Hey, what about that play? Why would we do that play? And it was between plays. There's a time to make adjustments, I feel. And so it's like, hey, wait. Hey, you're breaking the flow. We're into this play. We'll get that one later is what I'm thinking. Or I'm not thinking at the time, but that's what we need to do. So my flow's broken. There goes that continuity. I missed an opportunity because I'm thinking about the last play trying to explain it. You gotta be kidding me. Be in the moment. So I learned that. And now I try to apply it. Well, the same thing with those things I told you yesterday. I gave you 3 things. I'm glad some of you guys got on those, and I hope they served you some health concepts, because down the road you're gonna need to know them anyways. I'm just telling you, you're gonna need to know them. I mean, you're gonna wanna know them, because you're gonna want a solution if you got a problem. Solution to challenge. Okay, I'll give you a solution. Anyways, where was I? Gee, man, Christmas, stay focused. Okay. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is being in the moment is, or being aware, developing your awareness. In other words, being in the now. You make something happen, your ability to be aware, hey, you can correct it now. When I say correct, there ain't a right or wrong, but you can enhance yourself going to your goals. You can improve your discipline and you can make it a habit. But all these habits are based on where are you now? The situation changes. All of a sudden I got an athlete out there, and that's what I was going to talk about. When I was calling the plays, every once in a while, I just feel the player's not in a game. I go, where's this guy? He's not showing up. I just got to feel, because how I know my players, or how I think I know them. I wish I knew them better at that time. But I'd make a call to get them in the game. Sometimes people call this thing called cover 2 because it's a coverage concept. I called it because I wanted the corner not have to run with a deep ball so he can relax, just beat the piss out of the wide out, because he knows he's got someone over the top. It's his own coverage. Things like that. Or get a linebacker, hasn't made a play. Hey, we're in the 3rd series, man. I just make a call. Nothing to do with anything on the chart of their tendencies. It was our tendencies. So that's what being in the moment is. You can just feel it better. So you can make better reactions to the current situation. You can enjoy life more. All right? So again, work on your focus today if you can. Awareness, what a tool. Oh, that's my buddy gave me that. It's a tool in your toolbox to move you forward in chasing your goals and dreams. And remember, also, major emphasis on dreams. If not for you, for the youth of America. Please, please, they're my future. Hey, have a great day. You should always have a great. Look at a little different day today. You're the greenskeeper out there. But I'm loving it, man. Looking forward to it. Talk to you soon.